So good afternoon, everyone. We have a quorum present, 12 o'clock, so we'll start the meeting. First item on the agenda is the election of officers for 2020. As you know, the Governance Committee recommended the following slate of officers. Myself as chairman, Valerie for vice chairman, Erica for treasurer, and Steve for secretary. So after
Motion to accept the slate as presented.
Second.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. So thanks, everyone. Second is the approval of the IDA minutes from last month. Is there any questions or any discussion?
I had none.
If not, motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Next is the financial statements, which Erica can review for us.
Sure. So not too much to report this month, but cash is down. Well, if you go to the balance sheet, cash is down $20,533. That's due to the net loss for the month, offset by depreciation and collection on notes. There's a net loss of $36,111 for the month, but we are surplus positive at $140,000 year to date. If you'll flip to the income statement, we don't have any income for the month to report. Expense-wise, expense increased from the prior year, approximately $37,000 in expenses for the month of September. The three largest expenses for the month were payroll of $25,000. There were November. There were three payrolls in November, and benefits of $4,000, depreciation of $5,000. So other income was $1,400 in interest, and there were no other expenses in the current month. Other income and expenses are down from the prior year due to the sale of the depot.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Erica? If not, motion to approve the financials?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? No, motion carried. Next is the IDA board member annual disclosure forms. So everyone should have already received this in their packet. Please make sure you fill this out and give this to Kelly today if you can. Next is a set of resolutions. The first group is designation of banking institutions. So we'll treat that first.
I'll move
And that'll
that.
be, motion to, second?
Second.
And so this is a roll?
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. Policelli?
Yes.
Mr. Keim?
Abstain.
Mr. Wadums?
Yes.
Mr. Trout?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Abstain.
Ms. Bassett?
Yes.
Mr. Shipley, absent, motion carried.
Next, there's a second group of, second resolution for check signatures, legal counsel, agency accountant, bookkeeper, and agency auditor. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Another roll?
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. Policelli?
Yes.
Mr. Keim?
Yes.
Mr. Wadums?
Yes.
Mr. Trout?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Ms. Bassett?
Yes.
Mr. Shipley, absent, motion carried.
Then the third group has the CEO, CFO. As you know, right now, we do not have a CEO, so that's sort of a moot point. So actually, resolution to, if I can have a motion to approve for CFO?
Motion.
Second.
And so roll call?
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. Bolicelli?
Yes.
Mr. Kine?
Yes.
Mr. Wadums?
Yes.
Mr. Trout?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Is this for a particular person, or is it? I'm sorry, I'm trying to
It's
find your.
for, Bob Kernan.
All right,
For
abstain.
CFO,
Right, abstain.
yes.
Ms. Bassett?
Yes.
Mr. Shipley, absent, motion carried.
Okay. Yes, Pat, if you could do a quick introduction on the next item?
Yep, in your packet was inducement resolution for the Finger Lakes Agri project. Jim Syke is here, the owner of the project, to answer any questions. He's asking for mortgage recording tax abatement in a pilot. This initial resolution does two things. It accepts the application, and it allows us to schedule a public hearing, which needs to be conducted before we can do a final resolution. So, Jim, you want to talk a couple minutes about your project?
Yeah, I guess whatever they want to
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
So we're-
Yeah, Jim, yeah, maybe it'd be best, yeah, up here.
So we're building a fertilizer facility to bring in raw materials and make blends for farmers and ship them out. Putting in a rail spur. Of course, we're gonna have several buildings there and a new office. And I guess that's it. Gonna move some of our facility that we have now already over there also, our liquid portion.
And it's where, right now?
It's right on 318.
In Seneca County?
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll be essentially moving, upgrading, expanding, and going
Yeah.
into the industrial park
That's
outside
correct.
Seneca Falls.
And we don't handle dry fertilizer, so that's the portion that we're going to be putting in there. That's probably the biggest expense going in there, that building, in the rail.
Bulk or
Bulk,
will be coming in rail bulk?
that's correct.
And your plant's gonna take the bulk and blend it and ship it out bulk, or
Yes,
ship it out in
yes,
bags?
bulk.
Bulk also.
Most guys are bulk today,
Yeah.
so.
Are you shipping it out, or most other farmers are actually coming in and picking?
It'll probably be mostly us shipping it out. Most of these guys want you to deliver to them today. Even our liquid blends, we ship them out. They don't come pick them up.
You're doing that application as well then?
We do that also. But some of them do their own. Depending on how big they are.
How big a facility will it be?
It's gonna hold about 3,000 ton of dry, and we're probably gonna have around 4,000 ton of liquid.
Liquid will come in by rail also?
That's correct. Some of that comes in truck, but very little.
Okay, any additional questions for Jim?
Have any idea how many farm operations you service? And you
A lot.
Mostly Seneca
Probably-
County, or
No,
you
we go outside the county.
total Finger
We-
Lakes?
Yeah, we service Cayuga, Seneca, Schuyler, Wayne,
Okay.
a little bit in Ontario, and Onondaga is that's our main core. About a 50-mile radius.
Well, thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Oh, yes, as Pat said, looking for approval of a resolution for this. So we have a motion to approve.
So made.
Second.
Second. So roll.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. Bolicelli?
Yes.
Mr. Kine?
Yes.
Mr. Wadums?
Yes.
Mr. Trout?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes.
Ms. Bassett?
Yes.
Mr. Shipley, absent, motion carried.
So next topic, under other business, what I wanted just to do is just give everyone a brief update on what's going on with Hillside. is, of course, Hillside has moved out everyone and should be, the lease will be done by the end of March. So to really give a perspective, many of you don't have the full history, so just wanted to give you a couple little pieces of information. The property itself, there's 15 buildings, was built by the Army, 8 in the 1950s, and 7 buildings in the 70s and 80s. So the age is somewhere in the 30, 50, 60-plus year range. This area was called the Troop Area by the Army. That's where all the soldiers lived at the time, barracks and the bachelor officers' quarters. And it contains all the support activities for the soldiers, including the mess hall, gym, theater, recreation building. Administration also included was a security badge office for the depot. So at that time, it was a major operation. What happened, of course, as everyone knows, the depot closed. The property was transferred to the IDA in February of 2000. Shortly thereafter, in April, the IDA then leased the property to Kids Peace. Hillside came in and assumed the lease in 2004 and operated since 2004 at that site. Unfortunately, they decided to move out. They decided to consolidate their services and facilities and move the clients to other facilities throughout their operation. At this time, they're continuing to maintain the property until the end of the lease, which is the end of March. So it's another 2.5 months, and they're completely out. So the property maintains or comes back to the IDA. Part of the reason Hillside, of course, decided to close and move their operations is, as you can see, the facility is 30 to 60, almost 70 years old, and just the cost to maintain, upgrade, repair was too great, and it made sense for them to not walk away from the lease, but to stop the lease and consolidate their services. So where do we stand today? Well, as I said, Hillside is maintaining the facility for us as part of their lease until the end of March. At that time, they'll be gone. The IDA needs to maintain the property from that point on. We'll be looking to see if we can find a buyer, which may be difficult. We've hired Fisher Associates to do a survey and an analysis evaluation of the property. They're doing that right now. Hopefully, we should see the report sometime in the next month. It would be nice to be able to get that so everyone can see it, so we can discuss during our next meeting, and maybe a little later than that. But what they're doing, they're really looking at a whole architectural assessment, really including the roofs, walls, doors, foundations, windows, the whole structural part. Also looking at the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, HVAC facilities, and the site itself, the lawns, fencing, parking lot, roadways, to see what's the condition and to provide an estimate, what would it take to just secure and maintain the property while we try to find a use for it, along with what would be the expected cost for someone coming in to bring the facility up to where it needs to be. And it could be quite
Your
expensive.
assessment, Steve, would include an environmental review of the facility, or do you already have that done?
We have that done.
Okay. I don't recall how many acres do we have there?
172.
100
172.
And of course, what makes things a little bit more difficult is with the the wastewater treatment plant is being decommissioned. County decided not to continue that, so the property, along with First Light, will not have a connected sewer system.
Yeah, they believe that we
Would-
can do it off a septic for the next inhabitant, so
Yeah,
it's quite the septic system.
so,
Gonna be a big one.
It's gonna be a big one.
so that's, at that point, there's not too much more to say. It's just, it's going to be a challenge, and unfortunately, until we can find someone to purchase, then we'll still have to have the cost to at least secure and maintain.
If the right entity wanted to come along and acquire that, do they have the option of trying to work with the county and pay to get that connected to?
I'm sure that, I'm sure anything's possible depending on how much money they were willing to contribute.
Yeah.
There's quite a few challenges with that district right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of balls up in the air to see where that's gonna end up. The centralized option versus fixing the sewer plants, that's big, you know, and, you're probably looking at a year from now before the county knows what they're actually gonna do with that whole system.
Okay. Obviously, depending upon who you had, you'd have to have a pretty good idea.
They gotta figure out whether they wanna go with the centralized option or whether they're gonna actually fix those
Yeah.
systems that are already existing, you know? That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So with that, is there any other questions or any other business anyone has? Yeah, no planned executive session? So with that, that was a nice, short, sweet meeting. So can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No? Motion carried.
Nice.